Welcome back to Solutions for Financial Independence. Joining me now, John Halterman with Beacon Wealth Management. How you doing, John?
Hey, I'm doing great, Nikki. How are you?
Doing well, thank you. This week we have a question that says, I'm a retired doctor, and 20 years ago, I set up a living trust and an ILIT Trust to help pay my estate taxes. Today I'm worth about $1 million. Do I still need those trusts?
Great question, because tax rules constantly evolve. And one thing we have to realize is 20 years ago, the estate tax threshold was that if you had over $600,000, any assets over that meant that you owed estate taxes upon your death. So for simplicity, if you had $1 million worth of assets then, well, the threshold being 600, that meant you owed taxes on $400,000. So a lot of times what happened was people who did estate planning, they would set up a family trust, which would allow you to double those exclusions. And then they would also set up what they call an irrevocable life insurance trust, which meant that the life insurance was owned outside of your estate with the idea at your death you would use that to pay estate taxes. Well, guess what? Since then, estate tax laws have changed. Now the estate tax threshold is over $5 million. And so it gets indexed even. And so what used to be a big problem for a lot of successful business owners are really no longer a problem, because if you don't have over $5 million in assets, then you're not subject to the federal estate tax to start with. So do you need it? Well, I will tell you that a living trust will still help you with probate, but in terms of paying the estate taxes, it's not necessary at this time.
So you could use it for a different reason. If you'd like
you could, it could be recycled and used differently, but you'll have to go back and talk to your attorney and your financial people about what's the most appropriate way for the current situation. The good lesson in this is why it's important that you keep up to date, because what you may have done 20 years ago may not be relevant today.
All right, thank you so much, John.
You're
Folks,
welcome.
if you missed any of that, you can always find it online. Don't go anywhere. Much more for you after the break.